The night is silent, except for the river's whisper. Aaru kneels by the water, casting her net with tired hands, murmuring, "Another night, another hope." Suddenly, a desperate voice breaks through the darkness. "Help me." Her breath catches. The water surges, revealing luminous blue eyes and a shimmering silver tail tangled in bloody nets. "Please, they will find me." The creature trembles. Distant torches flicker. Men shout, "She's worth a fortune! Find her!" Aaru's heart pounds as fear and compassion collide in her chest. The footsteps grow closer. The creature's eyes plead silently. Aaru's jaw tightens. She grabs the net, her hands burning as she pulls desperately. "Why would you risk everything for me?" the river spirit whispers. Aaru meets her gaze, her voice soft but unbreaking, "Because no one should die alone in the dark." The net snaps free just as torchlight sweeps across the reeds, and Aaru pulls her into the shadows, two hearts beating as one against the hunting night. The night lay stretched across the land like a velvet blanket, its silence only broken by the slow, rhythmic hum of the river. The moon hovered above, pale and enormous, casting its silver glow on the winding water. Fireflies danced in the reeds, blinking like tiny lanterns guiding spirits through the dark. In the distance, the faint beat of ceremonial drums pulsed through the stillness. Someone, somewhere, was celebrating. But not in Aaru's home. Aaru pushed open the crooked wooden door of her mud house. It creaked just like her heart, overworked, tired, and burdened. In her hand was her old fishing basket, patched so many times that every stitch told a story of survival. Her little sister, barely 10, slept curled up beside their father, whose breathing had grown more wheezy with each passing year. Medicine was expensive, food was scarce, but the river, as unforgiving as it could be, was also the only friend Aaru had left. Tonight, like every night, Aaru walked the narrow path toward the riverbank. The air smelled of wet earth and distant smoke. Tall grass brushed against her ankles, while shadows swayed in the corners of her vision. She reached the river and knelt, letting her fingers skim the cool water. "Another night," she whispered to herself. "Another hope." Just as she lifted her net to cast it, a whisper drifted across the water. "Is someone there?" Aaru froze. She blinked, her lips parting slightly. Perhaps it was the wind or a bird. But then, with more clarity and more desperation, she heard it again. "Please, help." The voice cracked. "Help me." Every instinct screamed for her to run, but instead, Aaru knelt on the riverbank. "Who's there?" she called softly. There was a sudden surge in the water. Aaru gasped and stumbled backward as a shape emerged slowly, first a forehead, then luminous blue eyes, shimmering under the moonlight. A girl. A beautiful girl. But not fully human. Her long hair floated around her like blue silk. Her skin glowed faintly, reflecting the moon. But it was her tail that stole Aaru's breath. Silver, glimmering, and wounded. A thick hunter's net was tangled brutally around it, cutting into the delicate scales. The girl trembled from pain. I am Niara, daughter of the river depths. The currents carried me here." Aaru stared, stunned. She had heard legends of river spirits and merfolk, stories told to frighten children or entertain old women. But never, never did she imagine seeing one. "You're hurt," Aaru breathed. Niara nodded weakly. "Hunters. They caught me. I escaped, but I cannot swim back. My tail, it burns." Aaru swallowed, fear and compassion wrestling inside her. "What do you need me to do?" Niara met her eyes, hope flickering for the first time. "Untangle the net, please." Before Aaru could respond, crack! Branches snapped behind her. Aaru whipped around. Torchlight flickered between the trees. Men's voices echoed through the bushes. "She must be nearby! There's blood on the shore! Spread out!" Niara shrank back into the water, trembling. "Please, they will take me, sell me, torture me." Aru's chest tightened. She grabbed the net and pulled. It was thick, rough, and cruelly knotted. Niara hissed with pain as the threads dug deeper into her tail. "I'm sorry, hold still," Aaru whispered urgently. Footsteps pounded closer. "Check near the rocks. I heard something." Aru's fingers trembled. She pulled harder, faster, until her palms burned. Finally, the net loosened, then fell away completely. Niara gasped in relief. "You freed me." But she couldn't move. Blood seeped into the water, turning it pink. Aaru made a decision before she could even think. "You can't stay here. Come with me." Niara's eyes widened. "Your house? A human home?" "They'll search the river again," Aaru said. "You won't survive. Lean on me." Niara hesitated, then nodded. Aaru helped her out of the water. Her silver tail transformed slightly, shimmering as faint scales shifted to allow her to drag herself forward. It wasn't legs, but it helped. They moved quickly through the shadows. Twice, Aaru stopped, pressing Niara behind a rock or bush as hunters passed nearby. Their torches glowed like fiery eyes. Their voices boomed with greed. "That creature's worth a fortune. We'll find her. The river won't hide her for long." Niara clung to Aaru, trembling each time light drew near. Finally, they slipped into Aru's tiny home. She barred the door and lowered Niara gently onto her straw bed. Niara winced when her tail touched the bedding. "Easy," Aaru whispered, lighting a small clay lamp. The warm glow spread across Niara's shimmering skin. Aaru cleaned the wound with herbs and warm water. Niara watched her quietly. "You risked your life for me," she said softly. Aaru shrugged lightly. "You needed help." "No," Niara said, her voice trembling with emotion. "Humans do not help my kind. They fear us, or hunt us. But you—" Aaru smiled faintly. "Maybe I'm different." Niara reached out and touched Aru's wrist. Her hand was cool and soft. "You have a pure heart." Hours passed. Aaru worked tirelessly. Niara told stories of underwater cities made of glowing coral, forests of seaweed where moonfish gathered, and ancient currents that protected merfolk for centuries. Aaru listened mesmerized. By dawn, Niara's breathing had steadied. But at sunrise, fists hammered Aru's door. "Open up! We're searching every house!" Aru's heart nearly stopped. She quickly helped Niara slip under the bed, covering her with cloth and baskets. When she opened the door, she forced a tired smile. "Search if you must," she said calmly, "but you won't find anything magical here." The hunters barged in. They searched shelves, lifted pots, even poked spears into corners. One nearly stabbed under the bed. Aru's breath froze, but he stopped suddenly. "Nothing here," he grunted. Moments later, they left, frustrated. Aaru collapsed with relief. She pulled Niara out gently. "You saved me," Niara whispered. "You first," Aaru replied with a grin. Days passed. Niara healed slowly. A deep friendship bloomed, unexpected, but unbreakable. One evening, when her tail finally shone with renewed strength, Niara said, "Come with me. I want to show you something." They walked to the river. Moonlight danced on the waves. Niara stepped into the water, glowing brightly. "The ocean remembers kindness, and so do I." She reached into the currents. The water shimmered. A radiant blue shell rose from the depths. Inside were 3 azure pearls and 1 heart-shaped glowing pearl.
"This gift," Niara said, "protects the home it enters. It brings abundance, healing, and fortune." Aaru's eyes filled with tears. "I never wanted anything in return." "Exactly," Niara smiled. "That is why you deserve everything." She embraced Aaru tightly, then whispered, "We will meet again when the river calls." With that, Niara dissolved into shimmering light and slipped beneath the waves. Aaru stood silently as the river calmed. From the next sunrise onward, her life changed. The pearls healed her father. The heart pearl filled their home with a strange, warm peace. Food became plentiful. Aaru helped every hungry child in the village. Whispers spread. Did the spirits bless her? How did she become so fortunate? Aaru only smiled. "A hand that gives in kindness never returns empty," she would say softly. "What the river takes, it returns in its own way." And late at night, when the moon shone bright, she would walk to the riverbank and swear she could hear a familiar whisper beneath the waves. "Aaru, my friend,